I'm going to hit record right now. Okay, so it seems like we're live. I got the man himself, Nigel, in the building. It's, a real pleasure to get him on board. I was actually featured on his channel about, a week or two ago. And, he's the man. He's putting out that good content right now. Like, you can see the smile on my face. It's good to have this guy on board, man. And yeah, man, Nigel, welcome to my channel, man.
Oh, thanks for having me, Delphine. It's a pleasure to be on your channel. You're talking about me being a superstar. Superstar around here. You're a superstar around here.
Appreciate it, man. So yeah, Nigel, he runs a pretty popular pretty popular YouTube channel right now. He's putting out a lot of great content. He's putting out good content in terms of just tips that he's sharing with publishers. Also, he's getting a lot of good interviews with, influencers in the industry. So, I wanted to get him on our channel to share some of his ideas, some of his tips, and, find out a little bit more about the man, the man behind the camera. So, yeah, Nigel, again, thank you for joining me. And, if you could tell me a little bit about you and, your background and your upbringing and how you got to where you are.
Yeah, no problem. Be honored. Yeah, so a little bit about me, just keeping it short. I'm somebody who comes from a lot of different backgrounds. I always knew that I wanted to kind of be an entrepreneur, but I went down a whole bunch of different paths.
Right.
I went down the school route, and I wanted to pursue law school, and then I worked some internships, and I decided that wasn't for me. And then I actually went down the finance route, got a job on Wall Street, lived that whole lifestyle. Very, very lucrative career. And then I decided to leave Wall Street, which was wasn't a very popular choice amongst a lot of my peers. A lot of people thought I was crazy for doing that. Why would you do that? It's a suit and tie career. You have such a stable career. You make so much money doing that. But yet I wasn't happy with that 9-to-5 lifestyle. In the Wall Street case, it's 9 to 9 a lot of time, working crazy hours sometimes. And, I wasn't working for myself, and I wanted to do something that would give me free time where I could control my own schedule. I could travel, I could spend time with my family, my friends, and do whatever I wanted to, whenever I wanted to. So that's when I went to YouTube and, started kind of just looking for other opportunities out there. And I stumbled upon Kindle publishing.
Okay.
From somebody who's very popular, who I'm sure and I said, hey, this is a pretty good opportunity here. I knew I wanted to do an internet-based business, but I wanted to figure out how I could start actually making some money online. And that's when I stumbled upon Kindle publishing. So I decided to, get a couple of courses in that and started pursuing that while also doing some trading on the side. Instead of working on Wall Street, I've been, trading Forex and investing on my own on the side. But aside from that, getting involved with Kindle publishing, taking time to get mentors, and I started really getting the hang of things, and I'm starting to make some significant money on Kindle.
Right.
And, at this point now, just continuing to try to scale the business up. And that's pretty much some of my journey in a nutshell right there.
Right. Yeah, I want to know a little bit more about you. So just out of curiosity, how was the Wall Street life, man? Like, I want to go back to that a little bit. The most I know about Wall Street is from like movies and, Wolf of Wall Street. So, man, how was it going down out there, man? What was that like?
Oh, man, it was, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. And it is a very, very, very high energy environment. You have to be on your toes all the time. The phone is constantly ringing, especially when the market is down. You have a lot of clients that are calling you up, asking you what's going on with their portfolios. You have to constantly be on top of all the trends. And it's a lot of responsibility because, people are putting millions and millions of dollars in your hands and asking you to invest it, asking you to grow it, and most importantly, asking you to take care of it and not lose it. Right. So it can be very stressful. And it's a lot of work, but it's fun though too. It has its fun moments. You get to make a lot of money quickly, and you get to wear a suit and tie. Sometimes I miss being able to wear the suit and tie every single day to work.
Right,
Um,
right, right, right.
but yeah, I would say this: it's not as spiced up as it looks in a lot of movies. They
Right.
definitely glorify a little bit.
Right, 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 right. Cool, man. Interesting, interesting stuff. So, and how did you actually come about? So, for instance, for me, the whole online marketing thing, I
Mhm.
kind of came across it, gradually. So, like I said in the interview that we had on your channel, I kind of started with, the books on, Rich Dad Poor Dad, which was real estate investing. And then, of course, went on to try some things that failed. And then I slowly got introduced to the online marketing thing. How did how did you come across? I know you said that you always wanted to be an entrepreneur. Where did that come from? Was that from parents, people around you? Yeah, what was kind of the influence there?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, my father is an entrepreneur. He owns his own business and he works from home.
Okay.
Pretty much has the freedom to do whatever he wants to, whenever he wants to. And that was always a big influence to me. But I knew I
Nice.
wanted to be an entrepreneur. I knew I wanted to start my own business, but I just didn't know what. And
Mm,
then when I stumbled upon some people on YouTube, like Stephen James from Project Life Mastery, as I'm sure you've heard of, I stumbled
absolutely.
upon him, and I saw some other people just making an absolute killing online. I said, hey, I think this is the way to go because this is the future. YouTube, Instagram, social media. This is the 2018 way of doing business. And
Absolutely, man.
I stumbled upon Tony Robbins actually. I was watching some Tony Robbins videos, and I got very motivated by a lot of things he was saying. I was like, you know what? I can make a living just being a motivational speaker and, just going around the world and talking to people like Tony Robbins. But
Right.
then as I started learning about things, I kind of just went in a slightly different direction. And now I'm doing the Kindle publishing, and that's just kind of a niche that I fell into, and I like it.
Right, right, right. Awesome, awesome. So yeah, so now diving a little bit into the publishing side of things,
Mhm.
of course, you left a really comfortable life to go into something, that's you can somewhat say, well, you can control it, but of course, it's going from a guaranteed paycheck at the end of the month, or commissions or whatever, to putting books out and not really being sure if they're going to sell or not. How did you kind of how was that transition for you, man? Like, were what was going through your mind? Because I'm assuming a lot of people, they hear about online marketing and they're like, yeah, I want to start my own business, but at the same time, they're very comfortable. So what kind of made you say, you know what, screw this comfy job, I'm gonna dive in? Besides, of course, you saying that there was your
Mhm.
yeah, you understand
Yeah.
if you understand my question.
Yeah, of course, man. Man, it took a lot for me to do it. I just
Mm,
remember I was getting to a point with my finance job that I was really getting sick and tired of it. I was
right,
getting sick and tired of the hours, the stress, because trading the markets is something that I have a huge, huge, huge passion for. I'm obsessed. I love the stock markets, the forex markets. It's something I have a huge passion for.
right,
But when you're working for somebody else, and when you're working those long, grueling hours and dealing with all the stress on top of that,
right.
not on your own terms, it started to become overwhelming. So I was starting to really hit a breaking point. I remember I was standing there in the office, and I was just like, I can't do this anymore. I
Mm,
can't. I gotta branch out. And I
got it.
was on my break. I was watching like a Tony Robbins video, and he was like, "If you're not happy with what you're doing, you just leave and just start building what it is that you want to build." So I literally made the decision just to quit that day. I walked out. I spoke to my boss. I said, "Hey, I'm getting ready to quit." He's like, "What? What's going on here?" Like, he was shocked. Everyone was shocked, and I left. And
Right.
I literally went home and I started building my online business, and I started building my own portfolio and started trading for myself. Um, and when my wife heard, she was just like, "You're quitting your job in finance? Like, I thought this is what you love to do." And I was like, "No, babe, I have a different plan. We're gonna go a different route. I'm gonna do my own trading. I'm gonna build an online business."
Right.
And a lot of people were just very, very shocked, and it took a lot. And I was scared. I'm not gonna lie, I was very scared when I did that because I worked very hard to get to where I was at,
I'm
and
sure, man.
it was very nerve-wracking. But at
Mm,
this point, my wife is, she's comfortable. She's starting to see the progress with where everything is going. She's like, "Wow, you can actually make some money doing this," and she can
right.
see the future in it. So
Awesome, man. And
I'm happy I made the decision.
Awesome, bro. And tell me a little bit about your actual, Kindle publishing journey. So, what happened, when you published your first book, first two books, what took you from, what was your success essentially? Want to know, what was your success with Kindle, time frames, that sort of thing?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I started publishing, I think around April or May, somewhere around that time.
Last year, 2017?
Yeah. I
Okay,
started around
cool.
that time, and or maybe even June, or whatever. I got a couple of courses, I got some mentors, and I really did a lot of research before I actually published my first book. So I didn't just kind of just go, and just jump into the water,
Right.
per se, because that's just not how I do things. I'm a perfectionist. I like to really make sure I know what I'm doing, and I wanted my first book to be an absolute home run. I wanted it to make me thousands of dollars a month.
Right.
And so I published my first book. Figured it was a good idea. I used everything my mentors had taught me, and the book did not do that well initially. It wasn't getting that many sales, and I was like, I made like $10 or something like that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, this sucks. So long story short, I continued publishing books, and some of my other books started having some more success. Even before, I started making $300, $400 a month, right? Then $1,000 a month, and I'm like, wow, this is pretty cool. But the ironic thing is that the first book that really took off for me was my first book. My first book actually started to turn around, and I started getting a lot of sales from that book, to the point where that book was ranked. I think it was ranked like in a top 50,000. And it still is ranked pretty high to this day, which is, by no means is that like a bestseller. But if your book is ranked in the top 50,000, you're getting a significant amount of sales from it.
Indeed. At $2.99 or?
At $2.99.
Dope.
Yeah, I'm selling at $2.99. I'm actually selling that book for more now. I'm actually selling that book for $9.99 now.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah. And it's still getting sales. And
Nice,
I'm selling it for like $30 on CreateSpace.
Dope, man.
So,
I have a few $30 books.
No, it's worth it, 100%, man. Once you bump the prices up, like, it's a little scary because you get less sales, but then those sales you're making like $13, $14 off of it.
A piece, indeed, man.
So it's nice. But yeah, that book was it was featured in some blogs. Like somebody wrote a blog post about it on
the
website, and it started getting attention, and it was pretty cool,
Did you outsource that book, or did you write it yourself?
I outsource a majority of my books. There's actually a couple books right now that I'm working on writing myself. I started writing it. I got through a big part of it, but it's not finished yet. I gotta get back on completing that book. But I outsource a majority of my books.
Sure.
Yeah, I think that's the way to go,
Indeed. Absolutely. For scale, absolutely. So so you've got a few books out. So how many books did you have out when you were making, when you made your first $1,000 month? How many books did you have?
I had when I had my first $1,000 month, I think I had about 10 books out.
Okay. Cool.
I had like 10 books out. And that's when I broke 1,000 for the first time. My first book was actually getting me a lot of sales during that month.
Amazing. So cool. Awesome. And then I'm assuming you just continue scaling. How are you managing your business right now? Are you still putting out a lot of books? Are you kind of managing it? What's kind of your approach to publishing right now?
Well, right now I did hit a little point where I wasn't publishing as many books as I thought I should be. I think I got to a place where I got very comfortable with where I was at, just collecting a passive income.
Indeed.
And I wasn't publishing as many books as I needed to. So right now, I'm looking at getting back into publishing a lot of books and publishing more in bulk. Publishing 2 books at a time and publishing more series and things like that to really start scaling up. Because my goal at the end of this year is I want to get this business to about 10,000 a month. I think I can. I think I could do it. But it's just gonna take a lot of work, a lot of consistency.
Absolutely.
That's really my goal. That's really where I'm I'm aiming to get to.
Yeah, it's very, very, very possible, man. I mean, to get, for instance, to $100 a day, I got to $100 a day like I told you in my personal story, when I actually scaled after the first initial 6 months, I got to $100 a day or 3,000 a month, in the space of a couple of months, just putting out
Really?
a few quality books, and I was doing 3K a month really, really easily. So, if you're able to then triple that, do rinse and repeat what's working, from 100 to 300 a day, you're on 9K a month. It's super achievable, man. Just gotta, but anyway, I want to know more about you. So what would you say? Okay, so new publishers coming on board, of course. Okay, maybe they're like, damn, they're in the same position. I think even for me, I remember when I quit my job, I was like, I hated that place, man. I was like, I can't take this anymore, man. I was going crazy. Mm-hmm. So maybe someone out there is in the same shoes, maybe they're thinking to get started with Kindle. What would be your top 3 tips for someone new? And take your time if you need to think about it.
My top 3 tips for somebody getting into Kindle?
Yeah, someone new, what would you say, they're like, hey, Nigel, I want to get to $1,000 a month. What's the top 3 things that I should focus on to, achieve that goal?
Well, all right. Well, just, trailing back on some of the mistakes that I made, and it's actually a mistake that I'm in the process of correcting right now, because I'm actually really rebranding what I've been doing to kind of get more focused. When I first started publishing books, I was very scattered. I was publishing books in one niche, another niche, and, they were getting sales. But one thing I definitely recommend for somebody, the first thing is to definitely start building up an email list from the very beginning. And the way you do that is by focusing on one niche. Mm-hmm. Focus on something that you're passionate about. Focus on something that's profitable. Do your research. Find a niche that's profitable, that there's a market for. Yeah. And then go after that niche over and over and over again. And don't get that shiny object syndrome and start looking at other niches. Like, just focus on that one niche, publish books in that one niche, build up an email list in that one niche, and, kind of scale up from there. Sure. The second thing that I definitely recommend for people is to publish high quality books, especially in the beginning. When you're low on cash, you may want to just go the cheap route and just publish, a 20-page book, a 15-page book or something like that, right? And put it out there on the market. But when you publish low quality books, it tends to come back around, because you'll start getting some negative reviews here or there, which can really, really hurt you.
Absolutely.
Hurt your sales. And, I want to take a quick second here just to say that it doesn't necessarily matter how many reviews you have, but if you get bad reviews, I feel like that really hurts your book. That's in my experience. People will tend to buy a book that doesn't have that many reviews, as long as they're positive ones, but they see negative reviews.
Yeah.
So, definitely recommend publishing high quality books. So longer books, not just longer books, but high quality books. Really put time and effort into hiring a ghostwriting company like hotghostwriter.com, and get a company that will get the job done, that will write a high quality book.
Yeah, absolutely.
The third thing that I recommend is to publish bundles in the very beginning. So when you're publishing a book, publish 2 books at the same time that are related in the same exact niche. Maybe even publish a part 1 and a part 2 at the same time, and then bundle those 2 books. Because the one thing about Kindle that I've learned is that when you can start selling bundles, which you can sell at a higher price, that'll help you to scale up a lot more. And that's something that I focus in my own business, is creating bundles, and also creating high quality books that I can then charge at a higher price, and people will actually pay the money for it. And when you can get those higher royalties for those books, you start to make some more money, and you make it quicker. Those are my 3 tips that I have for anybody. Those are mistakes that I made from the beginning that I wish I changed.
Yeah, man, those are some solid tips, man. No joke. I actually want to touch on that a little bit. So first question, in regards to the email list, how were you actually building the email list? So were you giving a freebie? What kind of, how were you structuring that?
Mm-hmm. Well, how I was doing it in the beginning like I said, these are mistakes that I made, right? So
Sure.
I wasn't doing it as effectively as I really should have been doing it. What I did do with my first few books was I put a little freebie in there.
At the start of the book?
No, it wasn't another. What'd you say?
At the start of the book, the freebie?
Yeah, so at the beginning of the book, I'd give like a little freebie. I would put it in my description. Hey, you know, free bonus included inside. And usually it'd be like a little almost mini ebook. Like
Right.
I guess like 10 pages of, you know, additional information on the topic.
Sure.
Pretty much. Free bonus. And it wasn't really converting that well, my free bonus in the beginning of the book. And part of that is because I just didn't put a lot of effort into putting something high quality in as a bonus, and it wasn't appealing enough. So I wasn't getting a lot of emails off of that. But what I was getting a lot of emails off of was at the back of the book. I would ask people to join my review team. I say, hey, if you enjoyed this book, you know, and you want to see my future projects, then just shoot me an email here and ask to be on my review team. And then you'll get a free copy of my new books when they come out. And then, you know, you'll in exchange for a review. I was actually getting a lot of feedback there. A lot of people were emailing me, hey, I'd love to be a part of your review team. I really enjoyed this book. And the good thing was I was getting a lot of feedback from people too. A lot of people were saying, hey, I really enjoyed this book. You know, this is a great book. And I actually looked up some of these people on Facebook, and some of them were even talking about the book on Facebook, which was pretty cool. So
awesome, man. Shows the power of quality, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. So that's bloody awesome, man. So you had the email list, you were giving the freebie at the front, and you were asking them to join your review team at the back of the book. You said that, of course, at the beginning you weren't doing it too well. Did you adapt it at all afterwards? Or is that still how you do it right now with the little freebie? What did you do? Did you improve the freebie to increase conversions? Or?
Well, at this point, what I'm going to be doing now in my newer books is I'm actually going to offer just a free ebook, like a completely separate ebook for free. And not just like some low quality, like 2-3 page, you know, rinky dink thing that someone just whipped up that has spelling errors in it, but an actual book. You know, something that actually makes somebody want to say, hey, I'm going to give this person my email address so I can get this book. So I'm going to start putting books in the beginning of my book to entice people to really just give me that email that I can then use to start marketing. And of course, I'm also going to include the email address at the end of my books to get people to email me and join a review team, because I've been having a lot of success with that. I've been having a lot of success with that part of it. So that's something I'm definitely going to be implementing into my newer books and into my my newer brand. I'm building up a whole new brand. I'm kind of going to start from scratch, you know, different pen name, and just brand out differently, you know.
Man, that's awesome, man. And man, that's solid stuff right there. And which software or program were you using to collect the emails?
I've actually been using MailChimp.
MailChimp. Okay.
MailChimp. I'm gonna be using Aweber though. Moving on out. I think Aweber is a little bit more high quality. There's things you can do a little bit differently. I'm not really too happy with MailChimp. It's okay, but you know, from what I hear, Aweber is a little bit more premium. It's a little bit more. So this is a little bit more. It's worth investing a little bit of money in.
Absolutely. Yeah, I use Aweber for my email marketing. It's good. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's like $27 a month or something.
It's worth it. You know, it's nothing. So
absolutely. And so, of course, the review team, man, I can see the value of that. So literally, you bring out a new book, like, hey guys, I have a new book here. Would you leave me a review in exchange for the free book? That's powerful, because one of the biggest challenges people have, and, you know, I've had, and I know other publishers have had, is actually, you know, a consistent way of getting reviews. You know, of course, there are many ways you can do, you know, people do review swaps, all that kind of stuff, but those don't always seem to, you know, give you the best results. So having a review team, man, that's definitely something really valuable, and something that, you know, you guys listening should definitely, you know, apply. And in terms of marketing, how were you using the email list? Were you, you know, selling to them? You know, were you doing affiliate marketing? Any of that stuff?
Well, again, this is something I wasn't doing too effectively in the beginning. My emails, I wasn't doing that great of a job at that. You know, my books were getting sales organically just through Amazon. I feel like when you first start, you don't really know what you're doing so much.
Right.
You know? I'm
Right.
still
Right.
learning to this day. But majority of the things I would do is I would just connect with people. And
Right.
just if someone emailed me and said, hey, I really enjoyed your book. It's really helped me in these areas. Thanks. Please put out more stuff. I would just genuinely just respond back, especially in the beginning, because I didn't have a big email list like that. I would just connect with people like, oh, wow, thanks for reading my book. I really appreciate that. I'm definitely going to make the effort to get some new books out there. Thanks for joining my review team. I'll definitely shoot you an email with my newer books when they come out. Please leave a review for them.
Sweet, man.
So I would just pretty much just market my newer books to them as I promised. And then, I would get some reviews out of it from the people that I emailed. And it was nothing overly complicated. I wasn't really using the autoresponders or anything like that. It was just literally emailing people kind of in the beginning.
Right. Dope, man. Dope. Cool, man. So that's tip number 1 from Nigel. Email list, building an email list, and then, of course, a review team as well, man. Super, super powerful stuff. I mean, I'm sure you guys can see the value of that just right away. And your second tip was quality. So a very key thing that you pointed out here, which is something that I personally did in my business, which is why I was able to generate $100 a day with 14 books, which I actually talk about in my books. I was doing $3K a month with 14 books, and I would say about 7 or 8 of them were generating about 70% of that income. So, and the way I did that was, which was something you said, was focusing on really, really high quality books in good niches and just bumping the price up. So some of my books on CreateSpace, it's $30. I'm making $15 a pop every sale, So yeah, talk a little bit about that and, why you chose to go that route and, yeah, if you could elaborate a little bit more on that tip and why it's so important.
Absolutely. Well, like I said earlier, having a high quality book is super important because you want to get good reviews. One thing you don't want is getting bad reviews.
Right.
And most important, I think the most important thing about having a high quality book is that, like you said, you only had 14 books out there and you were making $3,000 a month. I tell people this on my channel all the time. You don't need that many books to start making some decent money on Kindle. You don't have to publish hundreds and hundreds of books. Absolutely. You can literally do it with 10, 20 books, 30 books, and be racking in some serious numbers if you have the high quality that's there. And that's the other thing. When you have the high quality, you can bump the prices up. And that's something I wish I did a long time ago because I've been putting out high quality for a while now. And my books were getting a lot of sales. They were getting a lot of sales, especially on CreateSpace. For whatever reason, KDP, my books don't do. KDP, maybe I think it's voodoo or something. That not that crazy on KDP, but it's the CreateSpace that my books just really take off, and ACX too. So I said, hey, I'm getting so many sales. My books are high quality. I can justify a higher price. So I bumped up the price a little bit.
Right.
And sales still kept coming in. And I was like, wow, I should have did this a while ago. So I bumped the price up again. And I still was getting sales. They went down a little bit. But for those sales that you miss out on, the sales you do get, you're getting more money. So it's like, man, I just made $13 on a book when I was making $2 off of it before.
That's
the thing about high quality is you can justify a higher price and you can charge more money for your books and make more money with a lot fewer books out there.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And as you mentioned before, you outsource majority of your books, but you said you wrote a couple as well. Okay, man, I like that, man. That's some solid stuff. Okay, and your third tip was bundles. Now, funny thing is, I actually only started getting into bundles, believe it or not, recently, like really recently. I'm talking about like a month ago. For some reason, I never, went down the bundle route. If you don't know, so basically a bundle is where you take 2 or 3 existing books and you put them all in one, and then you publish it on Amazon. So your book cover would kind of be like a 3D cover where it shows like, the back of the 3 books, like if you had 3 books stacked up. And yeah, you can sell them for a much higher price. So let's say you have cookbooks, for example, a vegetarian bundle. You have a book that's on breakfast, vegetarian breakfast recipes. lunch recipes and dinner recipes, 3 separate books. And then you'd sell that as a bundle. Hey guys, these are 3 awesome books. You know, and again, you just get the Word file, put all 3 files in one, or all 3 books in one file, and then upload that and sell it on Kindle. And you can charge, you know, $5.99, $6.99, whatever. And it's a great way to take those assets that you already have and make more money from the same assets. So essentially, you know, taking your good quality books that are already selling, bundling them up together and putting them again on Kindle. Yeah, so tell me a little bit about your experience with bundles.
Yeah, that's actually something that I kind of got into a little bit late myself as well. I heard about them and I just never really took action with them.
Yeah, same.
And I made it more of a priority to start making follow-up versions of some of my other books that were doing more successful, and creating a package with 2 books in it. Because that's what my bundles consist of. They consist of 2 books right now. No 3-book or 4-book combinations yet. But the one thing I was excited about was that I could charge more money for the bundles.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I mean, they've been doing very well for me. I've been getting a significant amount of sales with them, and you know, I charge more money for them, so I don't get as many sales as I would if they were cheaper. But they're doing very well for me, and it just creates another product out of thin air.
Absolutely.
When you have 2 books, and you put them together, that's another product that you can put out there. It's essentially another book that you can put out there. So the more bundles that you can create, the more products that you can put out there in the market. And that's a big thing with Kindle, is you really want to diversify. You want to have a bunch of products out there that are bringing you in $100 a month, $200 a month. And as that goes up, that's what makes the income go up. So the more products, the better. That's why I always recommend making bundles, 100%.
Man, that's some solid stuff, man. That's some absolute fire right there, man. Cool.
The fundamentals, bro.
Yeah, man. But yeah, man, just hearing it in perspective like that, I mean, man, that's a ton of value right there for sure. So cool, man. So, you shared some 3 great tips. So again, guys, tip number 1 was building an email list. You can use it to promote your book to people that are already interested in your market. Actually, one thing I will add in regards to something that we touched on very briefly, which you touched on very briefly, was focusing on one niche. So a mistake that I also made when I first started was, I have one book on this topic, another book on this other topic here, another book, and I really started making good money when I focused on one niche. When I say niche, for example, let's say you're going with cookbooks, like I already used that example. You create a brand, you have whatever, Michelle Johnson, whatever, for example, and then you put out a vegetarian cookbook, an Instant Pot cookbook, a vegan cookbook, a breakfast cookbook, a gluten-free cookbook. So I'm essentially putting books in niches that are all similar to each other, sorry. So in that way, I can kind of build a brand. And that really helps, you're able to, if you're using Nigel's strategy of collected emails, you're able to build a list and a following of people that are already interested in that topic. And, it just makes things that much easier. You building a reputation, Amazon promoting your author page, and, you can use Author Central, create a proper page, have a description of the author. And I saw a lot of value in that. Also being able to recommend your other books within your book. So for example, in some of my books, after chapter 2, I have before we continue, here's other books our readers loved. And it's all the books I have from that pen name. And then I do it again at the end. And literally you get so many upsells. So that's something Nigel touched on. And I just wanted to elaborate on that because it's really, really important. And did you want to add anything to that, Nigel?
Yeah, no, that is that's the main benefit of creating a brand. One thing that I've really learned, because I'm still somebody who's learning in this business as well, and that's what I talk about on my YouTube channel. I'm really just sharing my journey. I'm sharing everything that I learned with other people. And one thing that I've learned is really to take Kindle publishing seriously, in the sense that it's an actual business.
Absolutely.
Right? When you when you create any business, you always want to create a business that has a focus. You always want to target a specific market. The more specific you can be with targeting your market, the more successful you'll be, the more sales you'll get. You want people to know exactly what your business is about as soon as they see it. And it's just, this Kindle publishing is no different. You want to focus on one niche. You don't want to publish books, and you don't want to get shiny object syndrome and publish books all over the place. You want to zoom in, you want to focus on one niche, and you want to target that audience. Because when you're publishing books on different topics, and you email, let's say you email somebody with a book, you email promoting somebody a book about a cookbook that you have, right? But that person just bought a book that was about how to fix a car. Right. That person who bought your book on how to fix a car is not going to be interested in one of your cookbooks, most likely, because it's just two completely different people. Absolutely. You know, the person who got the cookbook wants a cookbook part 2, or a cookbook showing different recipes. And a person who just bought a book about your car, how to fix your car, wants a book on how to, you know, something about cars. So it's very important to niche down and to focus on one audience. That way you can really scale up and you can build an actual brand, a business around that. You know, create a website, email list, all that good stuff. Very, very important.
Absolutely, man. So that's a bonus tip here from Nigel, guys, focusing on branding, on building a brand. So, man, that's some solid stuff. Cool, man. Yeah. So again, just to, you know, go over it again, his tips were email list, building an email list, a review team. That's really, really important. Again, email list allows you to remarket to your, you know, an audience that has already spent money on your books before, and they enjoyed your books. You have the ability to sell them on something else. So that's really good. Also, you know, perhaps you want to get into affiliate marketing down the road. An email list is always something that's very valuable. You also can build a review team that way. You know, it makes it much easier for you to be able to get good reviews straight away. You know, your book comes out, you have 20 reviews up straight away. That's powerful. Then his second tip was, sorry, yeah, go ahead. Do you want to add something there?
No, go ahead. I'm listening to you.
Oh, cool. Second tip was focusing on quality books. So, you know, the better quality your book is, the higher price you can charge, which again allows you to make more money. So, and of course, you're putting out more value in the marketplace. You know, they're seeing good feedback. They're going to share your book more. You know, they're going to promote your book more. They're going to be emailing people. They're going to be ranking it higher. So, and again, like Nigel said, you can charge more and make a much higher price. And then his third awesome tip was bundles. Bundles, again, is, you know, putting existing assets, merging them together and creating a third, fourth asset. So that can be really, really powerful. You know, you can charge more and make more money. And then the bonus tip was, of course, the branding, focusing on building a brand with your books, you know, building different pen names. I've seen that to be the best way to build a good income is you create a brand under one niche. Again, you can sell each book, you can sell your different books within each individual book. And it just allows you to sell better. You understand that market more, you know, you're able to know what they want, you know, what they need, and, you know, increase your income. So that's some solid stuff. So, Sir Nigel, tell us a little bit about your channel. I know you have an awesome channel. I mean, I actually stumbled onto your channel, I'd say a month or two ago, maybe 2 months ago. I'm not too sure. And man, you got some great content out there. You're consistently putting out a lot of really, really good information. So yeah, tell us a little bit about your channel, its purpose, and anything you got coming for the people that people should be aware about.
Yeah, for sure, man. My channel is Power Pack Success. Check it out. Subscribe.
Absolutely.
Also, make sure to subscribe here to Delphin's channel. Of course, if you're a new viewer, subscribe to both channels, Power Pack Success and Delphin.
Absolutely.
My channel is, you know, comes from humble beginnings. It's just me, just documenting my online marketing journey. More specifically, my Kindle publishing journey, since that's what it started with. And I really just devoted myself to sharing all the knowledge that I learned along this journey with people. I'm just a regular guy who's only a couple steps ahead of you, that's just looking to teach you guys everything that I learned. Whatever goes into my mind that I learned, I share with you. And I just dedicate just giving you guys knowledge, high quality. You know, I put a lot of effort into making sure that there's good content on there. I also talk a little bit about some self-help things, you know, some mindset stuff. And but yeah, majority of it is just, it's all Kindle publishing. If you love Kindle publishing, then my channel is definitely the way for you to go. There's great advice on there. I've been having some phenomenal guests on there as of late, including yourself. Check out that interview. I mean, we had a great interview on my channel the other day where you delivered some great value. So make sure to go to the channel and check out that.
It'll be in the description.
Yeah, definitely check it out. That's a great video right there. But yeah, just delivering high quality. That's what the focus of my channel is, and my journey on Kindle publishing. Humble beginnings.
Absolutely. So yeah, guys, man, definitely, literally, I can't stress this enough. Definitely check out his channel, Power Pack Success. So, I mean, like he said, it's everything Kindle publishing. He also shares a lot of mindset stuff, you know, self-development, which is really important. You know, I would say, as I've come to discover, you know, also building hotghostwriter.com, a lot of it is mindset. You know, it's how you approach things. It's what's going on in your head. Because if you're confident, if you're in the right frame of mind, you know, ideas flow more easily, you're more creative, you know, you take action faster. So definitely check out Nigel's stuff. Subscribe. Anyway, the information will be in the description. Make sure you watch. Also, the interview we had on his channel will be in the description as well. I've heard around the bushes, I've been hearing some things that you're also cooking up a little course for the people. Is that true? Are the rumors correct?
Yeah, man. You know, I say that there's some validity to those rumors. You know, I am working on coming out with a course. You know, I do coaching on the side. You know, very exclusively. You know, but
yeah.
I am working on a course, and I will say it'll be out in the next few months. I'm not gonna say it's gonna be out next week, next month, but it will be coming out soon because I'm focusing on honing in on it and really making it very high quality. I wanna rock the Kindle publishing world with this course. So taking my time with it, and you know, it's coming. It'll be out soon. You'll be one of the first people to know.
Damn, okay.
Very much get delivered on this channel, everybody.
Awesome, man. So guys, get excited for that as well. So again, subscribe to his channel. I'm sure you're going to be posting an update, you know, as the course is getting closer to release on your channel, right?
Yeah, of course. You know, definitely subscribe. That way you can get all the updates as far as what's going on with my course and what's going on with the coaching and all that stuff that'll be coming out. Right now, I'm just focusing more on just hunkering down, getting this course high quality, and also still building up my own Kindle publishing business as well. So, you know, make sure you guys subscribe to my channel, subscribe to Delphine's channel, 100%. Don't make the mistake you might do it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. So yeah, Nigel, man, that's been some solid stuff, man. Any final tips, any, you know, message you want to leave the peoples with?
Yeah. To anybody out there who's new to Kindle publishing, or you've been Kindle publishing for a little while, don't get discouraged if you're not making a lot of money early on. The key is really just to keep publishing, publish, rinse and repeat over and over again. Just keep publishing books, and eventually they'll start to hit. You'll start making some money. Just don't get discouraged. Just keep publishing over and over again, and eventually you'll get the process. Just don't ever give up. That's the key. That's my #1 tip right there.
Absolutely. Awesome, man. That's some solid stuff. So yeah, again, guys, that was the interview with the man himself, Nigel. Again, check out his stuff, Power Pack Success. You also have a website, right? powerpacksuccess.com. Is that correct?
Yeah. I actually have a website, powerpacksuccess.com. I have, it's actually been starting to get, you know, some significant attention, man. It's a blog, you know, it's mostly talking about a lot of mindset stuff. It also talks about online business, online marketing. Definitely some good quality on there. Check out powerpacksuccess.com as well. That's in the making. I got a lot of major changes coming to the website and to the business in general. This is just the beginning stages of it, so stay tuned.
Awesome. Yeah, so again, guys, yeah, it's been a pleasure, man. And I hope you guys are excited about what Nigel has shared here. It's been some solid stuff. Best thing you can do now is take this advice, take the tips he's given, and put it into practice. And, you know, take the action, you know, don't hesitate. As he said, don't be discouraged if you're not seeing the results right away. Actually, one thing that I mentioned on the interview we had on his channel is at the beginning stages, you should always focus on the process. So ensuring you're doing things correctly, focus on learning, focus on getting things right, understanding what you need to do before worrying too much about income. But yeah, man, it's been so good having you on the channel. And look forward to having you again soon sometime. Perhaps maybe we can talk about something else, updates with what's going on in your course. And yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. Again, Nigel, thank you for joining me, and speak soon.
Man.
Cheers.
Pleasure, man.
Awesome, man. All right. Appreciate it, brother.
Subscribe to both channels.
Amazing. Awesome.